Pack sitting in the center lane with an 100-point lead on the rest of the field, looking to finish off an amazing performance so far this weekend. We've seen over the last 3 days and 9 events. Here's what they have in store for them today, Josh.
Yeah, for this final event, they're going to start with 120 handstand push-ups, but not regular handstand push-ups. The other team members will be holding up a shield to support that handstand push-up. From there, they'll move to 40 worm squat, clean, and jerks. The log you see on your screen, they're going to take it to their shoulder, squat it, put it up and over the head for a rep.
We saw all teams in the previous heat blow through these 120 handstand push-ups, but it was the worm squat, clean, and jerks that definitely separated the pack. So we'll see a very tight race here in the beginning, but it will be these worm logs here that will separate the rest of the field. Pack, your overall leader coming into this final event, has 4 first-place finishes this weekend and 3 third places. The only time they actually had some trouble was on those Iditarod sled sprints, a 66-yard, very, very quick event. They're not looking at that right now. They're looking at a first-place finish.
Yeah, they've been dominating all weekend. They'd like to get another W here. They've got the overall title wrapped up. The battle is going to be really for third. Who gets on that podium?
The best teams in the world are now on the field of play, and they're all centered around lane number 5. Pack, your 2012 CrossFit Games champ, are surrounded on either side by CrossFit Fort Vancouver, a 2010 CrossFit Games champion, and CrossFit New England 2011. Just outside of that, CrossFit Invictus is sitting in 4th overall. 2 times beforehand in 2010 and 2012, they finished 4th place. They're looking to improve upon that and perhaps get up there on the podium.
Yeah, they're dying to get up on that podium and get a medal, get that bronze medal. We'll see how they do it. These handstand push-ups have proved tricky in the past. It's one of these things that you either have them or you don't, and it's entirely possible that you've gone through the open, you've gone through the regional, and you could have one of your team members that can't do these. We'll see if anybody gets stuck here. We didn't have that in the last heat, but potentially we could here.
Just 1 minute into this, all 10 teams are chasing the time to beat set in heat number 1 by CrossFit Active at 14 minutes and 2 seconds. Pack, center lane, the captain, Tommy Hackenbrook, is moving through his, or that was actually Adrian Conway moving through his 10 handstand push-ups. They're almost to that halfway mark. They've got to execute 10. Once they're done with 10, Mary Lampus is now up. Very strong female for their team. Every person on this team is strong. There's just no weak link in this chain. Yeah, all of you CrossFit's females reportedly can do at least 20 handstand push-ups consecutively. That should make their 2 sets of 10 here no problem. I'm also impressed but saddened at the same time about my ability there as well. Pack, your team to beat, but it is in lane 4. CrossFit Adrenaline is blowing the doors off the rest of the pack right now with these handstand push-ups. Well, the Adrenaline is obviously pumping through this team as they're just repping out this movement super fast. CrossFit Adrenaline in lane number 4. They're sitting in 3rd place right now. There's a tight race. It's not between Pack and the rest of the field. Pack has it in the bag. They're looking to just finish this event, but you know they want to finish it off right with the number 1 finish place here. But it's Adrenaline New England, Vancouver, and Invictus, all within a few points of each other, vying for a spot on top of the podium. And I can tell you, Chase, both the teams and the individuals, yes, the overall standings matter, but the individual events matter greatly too. Doesn't matter if you're in 1st or 10th place, you want to get after it and show well. CrossFit Adrenaline nearly 20 handstand push-ups ahead on the rest of the field. They're on their final 10 repetitions. They will then move to the worm. 40 squat, clean, and jerks. They've got a nice sizable lead here. Gives them time to be patient on this first round of 10 and figure out their strategy for how they're best gonna move through this. We saw earlier it took a lot of cooperation, setting the log down gently so it stays in a good spot to be able to pick it up. Next seemed to be a major issue for a lot of the teams earlier. Diablo CrossFit now moving up to join CrossFit Adrenaline. CrossFit Adrenaline a 2-rep lead on the rest of the field.
And Chase, I can tell you from watching that last rep, they're going to want to drop their hips and bend their knees more to pick up that log. If they keep their hips high and their legs straight, that low back is going to fatigue by the time they get to reps 30 to 40.
We definitely saw that taking its toll on the field at the end of the previous heat. Now here is your race to the podium. On the left side of your screen, CrossFit New England has a substantial lead over Adrenaline, but look at this point spread, Josh. Adrenaline Invictus, 1 point. Vancouver, 1 point. Diablo, 6. There's no lead sacred right now. CrossFit Adrenaline, this is why they came out strong, because they know what's behind them.
15-point spread between 3rd and 7th. It's anybody's game.
CrossFit Adrenaline came out early because in the squat and burpee event, they ended up taking 5th place, so they are somewhat comfortable with this apparatus, but it was Fort Vancouver in lane 3 that ended up winning this event, and they just made their way to the log.
They look like they're handling it pretty well here. Somewhat slow pace, but you can see just from our first 2 athletes here, quite a bit of discrepancy in the height, which is shown to be a factor in how smooth you're able to complete these reps, particularly going overhead.
Second place in lane number 2, Team Dynamics.
Team Dynamics started out slowly on Friday, but have been picking up momentum and moving up the leaderboard each event.
CrossFit Diablo had a strong finish last year at the 2012 CrossFit Games. You see, Hacksback have yet to move up into the log, so they're on their final repetitions. They're followed by Dallas Central and Jet City, who have also yet to move on from the handstand push-ups.
So Hackspack struggling with the overall leaderboard, that won't matter. But what we've seen Hackspack be really strong on all weekend is this worm. New unknown device, never used before, but they have done very well in all of the events with the log. They spent some time at Kokoro Camp at SealFit. There's a lot of log PT done at that camp, and that time is paid off with their trip to Encinitas, California.
Showing how comfortable they are, Hackspack got first in the very first event this weekend on the burden run, having to use that implement to move from the track to the stadium. They are also 3rd place in the squat and burpee event, where they had to complete 30 squats with the worm and 30 burpees over the worm for 3 rounds. So something they're very familiar with and comfortable, so look for them to make a late charge here. 40 reps is not a lot of repetitions when you think, you know, maybe kettlebell swings or pull-ups, but how long and how tough every single rep is here. They still have plenty of time to make their way back up into the top.
Yeah, I mean, the 40 reps here, this is a good 8 to 10 minutes. That's a lot of time that can be made up here.
Heat 2, event number 10, the team finale. A packed crowd here at the StubHub Center, ready to witness the first repeat champion for the team event that we have ever seen since the inception of the CrossFit Affiliate Cup. CrossFit Adrenaline leading the charge. They came out early, well ahead of the rest of the field, but Team Dynamics in lane number 2 has moved up to join them at the top, both 17 reps in.
Doing a little better with the logs. They need a win, and they need a few places between them and Adrenaline if they're going to move up to that 3rd slot.
every 10 repetitions, you'll see the black mats, a 10, 20, 30, and 40. Once they complete 10, their middle part of their log has to move up into the next section. So we'll be able to see where they are in relation to the 40 repetitions. And now adrenaline and dynamics both moving up to the third set of 10 squat, clean, and jerks. Now, Josh, we're watching these athletes move the weight, throw it on their shoulders, throw it over their head, squat it, and we fail to recognize that this entire worm weighs 405 pounds.
Yeah, and each section is a different weight, so you're game planning on who you have at which log. The stronger athletes, obviously, at the bigger, thicker logs. Your weaker athletes at the lighter logs. But we've seen some teams earlier kind of switch it up as they go through to give some of the guys carrying the heavier weights a little bit of a break there.
Haxpack, one of the last teams done with handstand push-ups, have already have 12 repetitions in, so they're only 3 to 5 reps behind the actual 4th place position, so they have plenty of time to make it up and move up into the top. But it's adrenaline and dynamics still on top of this heat, with both at 23 reps.
All 6 members return from Haxpack's team, so this will be a true repeat. No new members, same team. They all got better and made them untouchable this weekend.
Adrenaline coming in 3rd place into this 10th and final event. They're tied up right now with Team Dynamics. Fort Vancouver slowly closing in. And we saw the point spread earlier. It was merely fraction. It was 1 point to 3 points for these 3rd through 5th teams. So whoever can take this heat of those 3 can very well put themselves into that 3rd place position. New England's got to be careful. They've moved back up from the 4th place. They were sitting in 2nd and had about a 50-point lead on 3rd. But that 3rd through 6th place teams are all within a few points of each other to try to make it up on the 3rd place position. Crossfit Adrenaline, your leaders so far, have 1 more rep to go. When they get to 30, they will move it up to the final spot, the 40 part on that mat you'll see on your screen, and then they will go to complete their final 10 repetitions. The time to beat, set in the heat number 1 by CrossFit Active on the upper left-hand corner of your screen, was 14:02. CrossFit Adrenaline has just under 3 minutes to complete these last 10 repetitions if they want to take that 1st place time.
And now's when you dig in. They know if they win this, they're going to cement their chances of being on that podium. 10 more reps to go, you gut it out. Back's hurting, grip's gone, doesn't matter. Pick up that log, squat, drive it up overhead, repeat 10 more times.
CrossFit Adrenaline still hanging on to the lead with Dynamics and now Vancouver just 3 reps away. If CrossFit Adrenaline can win this heat, they will solidify that 3rd place spot on the podium. So they know what's at stake. They know how important it is to finish these repetitions, but they've got to stay smooth. We've seen teams try to rush through this towards the end. CrossFit Reykjavik was a perfect example. They had 2 reps left, got 3 no reps, ended up doing 5 more than they ever needed to do. So CrossFit Adrenaline, seeing the finish line in sight, just 5 reps away, have a minute and a half to try to beat that best time set earlier today, earlier in the 1st heat by CrossFit Active at 14:02.
They've just got to keep doing what they're doing, and they're going to finish this out. Down to their final 4 reps.
CrossFit Adrenaline, the judge's hand is in the air. This will be their final rep. If they can complete this and finish underneath the 14:02, they will take first in this heat and first in the event. So the log is down, and here comes CrossFit Adrenaline, and they will solidify third place here at the 2013 Reebok CrossFit Games.
They've made the podium. They have won this event.
CrossFit New England, they were sitting in second place. It seemed like a comfortable lead at the time, about 50 to 60 points. They're sitting in fourth, but we don't know how they're going to stack up to the teams in heat number 1. So they have to stay strong and smooth because they have 9 reps still left to go. Fort Vancouver moved up into second. They're tied now with Team Dynamics. Vancouver was also looking at trying to get in that podium spot. Fort Vancouver, 35 reps in. Dynamics there. Dynamics is right next to him. So lane 2, Dynamics in the gray. Lane 3, Fort Vancouver in the yellow, are only separated by a single rep. One rep, hand in the air, and that is for Team Dynamics. If they can complete this rep without missing a rep, they will move past Fort Vancouver. And Team Dynamics will take second place in this heat at a time of 15:07. That's good enough for 4th overall.
Dynamics has gotten stronger as the weekends wear on. Strong finish from them these last 2 days.
Fort Vancouver in the yellow on their final repetition. They were the CrossFit Games champs in 2010 and still strong. They'll finish in 3rd overall in this heat at a time of 15:30.
And Hackspack, last ones off the handstand push-ups, but they have made quick work with the log. They are almost finished here.
Hackspack has 2 reps left to go, as well as Kilo. Kilo is now done, so Kilo's going to take 4th. Hackspack has creeps back up to CrossFit New England. CrossFit New England needs to be very careful here because we had 10 teams go before this, and Hackspack will finish. So New England needs to get into the finish line as fast as they can.
They can't keep jumping. They're losing points. Other teams that were right behind them on the leaderboard did very well and collected a lot of points in this event.
CrossFit New England will finish up in a time of 16:30. That's 6th in this heat, but 10th overall for the event. We have 4 teams left on the field of play. Diablo, Invictus, Dallas Central, and Jet City. And CrossFit Diablo just finishes at 17 minutes. So there's 3 minutes left until we get that time cap. The next closest team, CrossFit Invictus in lane number 7. They were coming in 4th place, just 2 points behind CrossFit Adrenaline, looking to try to get up into that 3rd place position. They got 4th in 2012, but this finishing is not going to help them out.
Squat, drive up.
Four more reps for CrossFit Invictus. We're coming up on 18 minutes. That'll give them 2 minutes until the time cap. Here on your left, some of the biggest supporters we've seen at the games over the last several years. CrossFit Invictus, the sea of green, always travels well, and there's a lot of great community support for their team.
They've got a lot of athletes at the games here. They've got their affiliate team. They've got Josh Bridges, and then CJ Martin, the owner and coach of Invictus, also does a lot of training to some other top athletes that are competing this weekend as well.
CrossFit Invictus with that rep. They have one single rep to go. There's about 90 seconds left before the cap. They will finish underneath. They're looking to finish strong. Front of your screen, CrossFit Dallas Central. They started in 3rd place this morning, had a stumble in the previous event, and CrossFit Invictus will cross the line at a time of 18:41. Two teams left on the field. CrossFit Dallas Central are at 33 reps. 1 minute left to go.
Dallas Central, who were in 1st place after Friday, started out really well. Haven't had quite the same success the rest of the weekend. They'll be back next year, though, stronger than ever. Very
strong team. This is their 4th trip to the games. They've won the South Central 2 years in a row, but they're struggling here, trying to finish off this 10th event. 30 seconds left. They've had trouble with this worm all weekend. You know, they've got about 4 reps left. They won't make it to the time cap, but they always want to finish strong. Dallas Central and Jet City still left.
See if they can get this last rep in. Not quite. Little kick of the log and frustration there. We've all been there, done that a few times after a workout.
What's up, Adrenaline?
CrossFit Adrenaline took this heat and took this 10th and final event here at the 2013 Reebok CrossFit Games at a time of 13:39. They came in 3rd place. They know they had to have a strong finish here, and they did exactly what they needed to do. Right out of the gates, they were the first team off handstand push-ups, first team to the finish line. And here are your team results for event number 10, CrossFit Adrenaline and CrossFit Active, following up by CrossFit Melbourne. So 2 Australian teams in the top 3 positions here.
And 2 teams from the first heat. We don't normally see that, so outstanding showing.
Your final results here for the 2013 CrossFit Games team competition. Hacks Pack has done it. They are the first repeat team champion in CrossFit Games history. And New England, a 2011 champ, had made their way back to the podium in 2nd place in Adrenaline with a 1st place finish, have rounded out the top 3 positions. And these are your top 3 teams from the 2013 Reebok CrossFit Games.